Now, 2 pigeons and Coach Prime bemoaning the fact you can stream DirecTV satellite-free.
These humans get the biggest college football games on DirecTV,
and we don't even get a satellite dish.
Enough squawking.
It's Coach Prime.
Bring it in. Sure, they could get all that college football without a dish, but you still got your passion, your drive, your resolve, your
incredible career as a football icon?
No, that's me.
Stream the biggest college football games. No satellite dish. Visit DirecTV.com.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Regardless of what takes place in the previous play, good or bad, we got to be able to reset for that next play and be ultimately focused to execute one play at a time.
Our coaching coordinator, National Coach of the Week, presented by Modern Football Technology, is Justin Hemm, the head coach at Skyridge High School in Utah. Coach Hemm and the Falcons just came off a big win over Lone Peak, who was the number 1 team on Max Preps. That moved Skyridge up to number 3 in this week's rankings in Utah. Coach Hemm shares the details of how they approach their week and building confidence for game day. He also gets into the details of how they game plan, some of the technology they use on game day and throughout the week, as well as how they approach the emotional, psychological side of the game. Our presenting partner for this series is Modern Football Technology. They're being used around the country by some of the top high school programs, as well as the college level, in particular at Cal Berkeley. Cal Berkeley has had an outstanding season so far, losing only 2 games by a total of 6 points, including this past week, and almost pulling off a big win over number 6, Miami. Let's hear from Matt Fox, Director of Technology at Cal, and their thoughts on modern football technology.
I would recommend modern football technology to any program at any level. One of the main reasons is if any program is interested in acquiring data, storing data, managing their data, modern football technology can help them do that. Whether you're in the NFL or high school or college, every team has to manage their data.
It's not too late to get started with modern football technology. In fact, it's probably a good addition for your playoff push here as you head into the later season and get ready to take opponents in the postseason. If you're going to be wrapping things up soon, it's also a great way to evaluate the season. Be sure to check out modern football technology. The link is in the show notes. Book a demo and get started with modern football technology. Make better decisions at the speed of the game.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
We're back for another episode in our series for the National Coach of the Week presented by Modern Football Technology. And joining me this week is the head coach at Skyridge High School in Utah, Justin Hemm. Justin, it's great to have you here on the podcast, and congratulations on being named our Coach of the Week.
Grateful to be here, Keith, and I appreciate you having me. Tremendous honor. I've been a long-time listener, subscriber to the podcast, and very familiar with the show, and tremendous honor for our boys as well as our coaching staff here at Skyridge High School.
So, Coach, we're going to focus today's conversation on preparation. And for you guys, you talk to your guys about loving that challenge and that over the course of the week. You want to build that confidence. So when you step on the field, you guys are the most prepared and confident because of that. So we'd love to hear just the approach and how for you this has developed.
Yeah, and I think this whole process of our practice structure has evolved throughout the years. Early on, there are things that experiences I have from being a player to an assistant coach to a coordinator and those people you're around, and you try to take something from each one of these guys and kind of make it your own. So for us, we really take pride in our preparation process Monday through Thursday leading up to our Friday games. And we want our boys to be prepared for any situation that they may encounter. And for us, our emphasis kind of has themes each day. Mondays is heavy first down fundamentals. So each Monday we start with a takeaway turnover circuit where we're talking ball security, being able to take away the ball, and then introducing base looks we'll see offensively and defensively from a first down perspective. Tuesdays, then we transition a little bit into third and medium, third and shorts, which is the whole emphasis, and we'll tie that into one-on-one competitions that we have. So we'll do a third down competition to start our practice, 1 versus 1s, 2s versus 2s, 3s versus 3s, where we're just working these different situations from third down. And then that ties into everything we do throughout that day, inside run, blitz pickup to our team scout periods, all with that same third down emphasis. And we keep that same mindset then into Wednesdays as well, with more of a red zone and third and long focus. So we'll have a red zone team comp, similar 1 versus 1s, 2s versus 2s, 3s versus 3s, and then structure practice in that same manner from inside run to blitz pickup to team scout with an emphasis of third and longs to red zone. And we feel we're exposing those boys some key situations, right? When we talk money down, third and fourth downs, and red zones, where we want to be efficient and productive to be able to execute in those situations.
What do you think are some of the key details that go into that structure? You gave us the overview of the week and the things that you work. But looking at, a lot of people obviously have structured their week in similar ways, but it always comes down to the details. For you, what are those key details?
Yeah, things that we try to do with that then is prepare our boys in a variety of ways. Yes, we can use practice and situations. That's one form, but we also try to use meetings throughout the week, film work, as well as scouting reports, as well as these guys doing even some handwritten stuff throughout the week. So having a variety of forms in which we teach these looks and these concepts and these situations to our boys, I think go a long way as being multiple with how we instruct. In addition, a major focus through us throughout the week is the idea of a next play mentality. Regardless of what takes place in the previous play, good or bad, we got to be able to reset for that next play and be ultimately focused to execute one play at a time. And I think this last week was a good example of that. There was times where we could have hung our hat, could have been frustrated, pointed fingers, done whatever we needed to, but I thought our boys mentally responded very well with the next play mentality.
When you look at some of the different things that you use off the field to prepare these guys, what are some of the technologies you guys have started digging into and utilizing to make that process more efficient?
We use Hudl quite a bit, right? We'll use Hudl for tendencies. We'll use Hudl for presentation scouting reports. We'll also give Google Docs to our boys that we share out to them on the weekends, kind of introducing the scouting report to the opponent. And then we have some film guys, some statistician guys that are with us, John Frampton, Cody Frampton, who do a lot of analytics for us as well, both on Friday nights from a self-report, self-assessment to opponent as well. So the combination of these things allow us to create our scouting report through the week, focus on key areas that we think are priorities to the boys. There's a balance between too much information where it's kind of overwhelming to the players and identifying things that we actually just need to focus on and looks or key situations that these guys can fine-tune their focus.
For you, and looking at how that comes into play on game day, do you guys utilize any of those analytics that you guys are recording throughout the game? Does it help inform you of any kind of adjustments or decision-making as you go?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll use this on Friday nights as well. We always get a halftime report, and we'll try to touch base in between drives, just kind of get an idea of what we're seeing, what we're getting. Are things that we're seeing offensively and defensively consistent to what we were seeing in the weeks leading up from our scouting report? And obviously we can do this in between drives, but allows us, especially at halftime, to get those reports and kind of really match these things to scouting reports prior to see consistencies there.
So just thinking about the time you have at halftime, and it's not a lot when you think about all the things we need to do from addressing our players, understanding what our injuries and those types of things might be, getting in all our data and then making decisions and the plan for the second half. What kind of process do you guys use to make sure you go through everything you want and you have that first series, maybe scripted or however you might approach going back out for the second half?
Yeah. First thing we do, we meet as offensive and defensive staff. So right when we kind of get into the locker room, we have our analytics guys, the Framptons, both of those guys kind of sitting there waiting. And then as we walk in, those guys give us a quick rundown, right? They're going to tell us what we're seeing in red zone situations, third down situations, doubles, trips, first downs. This is a quick rundown, what we're seeing both front-wise, pressure-wise, and coverage-wise. And then that's a quick minute or two rundown, which then allows us to kind of identify and match that to anything previously. To me, as a play caller, are seeing some of the same things that then those reports. It's just reassurance for us that those things match and correlate with one another. From there, right, we'll have quick conversations with position coaches, make sure we're on the same page. And then position coaches then will all get with their position groups to kind of relay that same information and how we plan on responding here in the second half.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
So looking at other things you might use, I'm sure you guys are using sideline replay. Again, all this can be overwhelming for players. I think it's being able to focus in on the right things at the right time for those guys. So how have you maximized the use of sideline replay?
Sideline replay is huge. There's many times where a kid might come off the sideline and say he's seeing this or this. Then you look at the film and we're saying, I don't know. Actually, looking at this, it's a little different, right? The game can be really fast. And the sideline replay allows us to kind of slow things down, allow us to take a deep breath and focus on what we are seeing, right, and how we should be communicating and attacking. So sideline replay is used each and every single drive. Our boys come off on the sideline. That's the first thing we do. We sit down and look. We bounce between different things. Like we've used TVs in the past on the sideline as those boys come off. But what we've transitioned to now is iPads. So we'll have a couple iPads on the sideline. So those things can be broken up, offense, defense, position groups, O-line, skill guys, et cetera, and allows us to just, I think, prioritize our focus individually for these position groups with the multiple iPads on the sideline.
Yeah, is there any process you guys use for that to keep it pretty organized in the time you have between series?
Yeah, so when we come up to the sideline, usually we got two benches. We'll send O-line to one bench. We'll send skill guys to another bench. Position coaches then will go to corresponding spots. I'll bounce between the two just to touch base, make sure we're on the same page between the skill guys and the O-line guys. But these guys are just looking through. Obviously, position coaches have some plays in mind from that drive that they know they want to look at. So we'll kind of start at some of those, making sure where Mike is located for getting proper Mike calls, things like that, double teams. Similar then with receivers and routes and depths and what these guys are seeing from a 1-high, 2-high structure. So we'll split those guys up off as far as offensive line and skill guys, and then be able to narrow that focus, more of a position group meeting at that point, more so than a whole unit.
You know, to wrap this up and bring it back to what you said, that idea of love, the challenge, you know, we obviously got into a lot of the kind of the technical aspects of this and what it looks like and the technology you're using. The human side of it, again, just going back to some of that confidence and the way you build on things. And I know you face tough opponents all the time and have some coming up here in the near future. With all those things we talked about there, that set aside, the human part of it, how do you make sure that you guys are always in tune with that and what these guys need in terms of just the encouragement, the motivation, those kinds of things that help get you guys over the edge on game day?
Absolutely. And I think that is something that's evolved for me as a coach over the years, is the mental and emotional aspect of it. We structure things now. Mondays, we start with a team meeting where we'll review, previous week, introduce the next upcoming opponent. Okay, but what we also do is we'll spend half that time with mental and emotional strategies. We have some sports psychologists that we work with that provide us with material that we can use on these Mondays that are usually just short, maybe YouTube videos that we can tie into the boys and help provide them with skills and strategies that they can use in high pressure situations. And this has been very valuable and something that's, I think, grown from my role as a coach over the last few years, and something that we've embraced each week and we take pride on, and we spend a lot of time with our boys from a mental and emotional standpoint to handle these high-pressure situations.
Is there anything you do, I guess, in preparation for that week and in talking to the sports psychologist who you're partnered with that makes it especially relevant to whatever might be happening that week? You know, whether there's a high-pressure game or there's the distractions of homecoming or whatever it might be. Do you guys look at that before you put the thing together each week?
We do. We'll have conversations, and we have a lot of conversations in the off season. And honestly, what we've created here at Skyridge, we use from an instructional platform for our classes, Canvas. And what we've done is we've created a Canvas course with these mental and emotional strategies for all sports programs. So I have a bank of resources there that I can pull from each week that I feel fit our team. But if there's anything more direct that I feel that we need individually, specifically for a particular week, our sports psychologist will get with us and we can create what we need for that week, that Monday meeting, to use those resources. But for the most part, I'd say general weeks, there's this bank that I'm able to pull from that fits our needs for that particular week.
I love the detail that you're putting into everything from the technical side all the way to the emotional intelligence aspect of this. Obviously, it's paying off for you guys. You guys, one of the top ranked teams in Utah, and we're able to knock off Max Prep's #1 team this past week. So again, congratulations on all your team is doing this season. Congratulations on being named our National Coach of the Week, and best of luck to you and your team here the rest of the season.
Keith, I appreciate the time and very grateful for the opportunity to be here. And thank you for what you do for high school football and football in general.
Here's our winning edge takeaway from our conversation with Coach Hemm. I think the biggest thing here is attention to detail. I was so impressed in talking to Coach Hemm and how they approached their practice week, the things that he thinks about that they put into what some people would call a typical structure. I think we see the same structures in practice weeks throughout the country. They may vary a little bit, but it all comes down to the details. And I think he's really thought about all the details and how they do things, from how they use technology throughout the week on game day to make decisions and use the analytics that are coming at them, as well as how they use instant replay and sideline replay to give players better information throughout the game. Also, the way they approach the psychological side of this, and that they've put together and have a game plan, a curriculum for all the things they might need for the emotional side of the game and preparing their players in that way. So I think there's a lot to be learned from the details here, and that's our takeaway for this week. Be sure to check out our partners, Vertical Raise, for your fundraising needs, modern football technology for analytics and in-game decision-making, and signature championship rings when you win the championship this year. Links and information to all of our partners can be found in the description and on coachandcoordinator.com in our 10% toolkit. Follow us on X at Coach K. Grabowski.